So you all are here. We're going to do probable cause. Each of you are charged with racing on a highway. Who's Carlos Gomez? You're Carlos Gomez. Mr. Gomez, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Mr. Kasim, you are charged with racing on a highway, and you are charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the weapon case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On the racing, up to 6 months. As you, Mr. Rios, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on the racing case. Gentlemen, we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay?
On February 1st, 2025, an officer who was part of a plainclothes traffic crimes task force was near Cross Timbers and East Texas Freeway in Harris County, Texas, where there was known to be a large street takeover group meeting. Officers in plainclothes were conducting a surveillance of the group of cars known to conduct the takeovers. The officer followed members of this group, specifically a gray Camaro, a white Camaro, and another Camaro. Officers witnessed the three vehicles slow down to 50 miles per hour and accelerate simultaneously up to speeds well over 125 miles per hour in order to outpace each other. Plainclothes officers were able to keep these vehicles in sight until marked patrol vehicles arrived and conducted traffic stops. Officers pulled over the vehicles and made an arrest.
So each one of them are in cars lined up?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Lane 1, lane 2, and lane 3.
Okay, so tell me about the gun on Mr. Kasim's case.
I'm sorry, Judge. What was the question?
So Kasim is Kasem. While you're looking at that, gentlemen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward to the case. I'm going to tell you now, living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. And I am now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in these types of activities anymore. Racing, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving. If I find that you do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing I will do is I will take your ability to drive away from you. Do you understand? Not only that, the Texas legislature has made it extremely easy for DAs across the state of Texas to seize, take cars permanently for people who are continuously participate in these activities. And I'm telling you because I've seen it here where people get their $80,000 to $100,000 car seized and taken, and they don't get it back. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kasim admitted to having the handgun in his fanny pack to the officer.
So can you file those conditions on all these gentlemen? Or I guess let's go through each of them. Do they have Texas driver license?
They all have eligible Texas driver's license.
Great. All right. One more thing, gentlemen. You are not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, then you're not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive without car insurance or you violate any of these conditions, I will put you in jail. I will do everything in my power to protect my community. Imagine you hit something at 125 miles an hour. You crush anything. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will have you each take a seat while we craft your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. Because you guys have lawyers, I will waive your appearances. So you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and they will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging and playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You become a danger to my community, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to have you each go to Victoria Center Reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. You are Adam Reyes. Mr. Reyes, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On January 23rd, 2025, law enforcement officer observed a black Silverado and a white Honda Accord at the 7800 block of State Highway 6 turning left at a high rate of speed. The law enforcement officer made a U-turn at an intersection that followed both motor vehicles, having to travel approximately 66 miles an hour in 40 mile an hour zone. The officer observed motor vehicles to be side by side with the Honda flashing emergency lights. The law enforcement officer observed Honda turn off the lights. Both motor vehicles began to speed up again while driving side by side, and they ran a red light. The officer attempted to catch up with both motor vehicles, causing the officer to travel approximately 90 miles an hour in 40 mile per hour zone. The officer briefly lost sight and re-observed the Silverado as the motor vehicle continued traveling eastbound. Traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with defendant, driver, the sole occupant. The defendant stated when asked about high rate of speed, "No, I was on my way home with my friend Adam, and Adam was following me home." Co-defendant arrived claiming he was there to check on the welfare of the defendant. The co-defendant stated, "I was following him home. I broke off because I wanted to get something to eat." Defendant ID'd with the Texas driver's license.
And Mr. Reyes, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in this type of activity again. If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail and then I'm going to take your ability to drive away. Do you understand? Can you look to see if he has a valid Texas driver license, please?
Yes, Judge, eligible.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Reyes, or did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
I'll hire one.
I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. I'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Be safe in my city. Do you understand? All right. Mr. Castillo, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 31st, 2025, an officer was working an extra job at Home Depot and was alerted by the loss prevention officer that the defendant had entered the store, putting multiple power tools in a basket, and exited the store with unpaid merchandise inside the basket. The officer was sitting in a motor vehicle and observed the defendant exit the store beyond all points of sale and head north in the parking lot. The defendant entered apartments across the street. The officer observed the defendant pushing baskets and approached the defendant. The defendant attempted to flee. The officer deployed a taser and placed the defendant in custody. The total value of items stolen was $519.98.
Got it. All right, Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to go back to any Home Depot. Do you understand? If I find that you do, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you mind filing that, please? Okay. Tell me, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to apply for a court appointed? I don't want to talk about the case. Do you want a court appointed lawyer?
I mean, I could get one, but if I hire a lawyer, then I don't need the lawyer you're gonna give me.
Sorry?
I'm gonna go ahead and get a lawyer for myself.
You don't want a court appointed lawyer?
Okay.
Okay. If you have a problem and you're not able to, just come back, let us know, and then we can appoint your lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria. I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Let me get your bond conditions ready. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Don't pick up any new cases. Behave yourself.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, come on. Mr. Neal, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 31st, 2025, officer observed a vehicle with an expired registration. Traffic stop was initiated. Upon contact, officer approached rear side passenger vehicle and asked defendant to roll the windows down due to the tint. Officer then approached passenger side and observed HOMJ emitting from the vehicle. A PC search conducted. Officer found a black bag containing a jar of marijuana inside on the passenger floorboard. Officer found a firearm under the front passenger seat.
So he's the passenger then, right? Or is he the driver? Is he a driver? Or was he?
Argue PC on this case if you want to find him PC. He was not the driver. He was the rear passenger seat. There's nothing in the DINs that really connects him to the gun.
Okay. All right, Mr. Neal. Careful who you hang out with, you know? You hang out with dogs, you get fleas. Just really, you got one life. Live it to the best you can, all right? I'm going to find no probable cause. Just be careful, all right? Okay, just hang tight for me. You are Ricky Thornton. Mr. Thornton, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
As the complaining witness and the defendant are in a dating relationship. And on December 18th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to an assault call at a hospital. The officer arrived and made contact with the complaining witness, who stated that she and the defendant are in a dating relationship. The complaining witness stated that earlier in the day, she and the defendant were in an argument due to the complaining witness telling the defendant that he needed to leave the location. When the complaining witness got up to leave, the defendant pushed her through a wall, causing her to crash through the wall, causing pain. Officer observed the complaining witness to have a laceration over her right eyelid, swelling and bruising.
What's the problem in this case? It shows something went wrong. Something's wrong. I'm showing that the case is dismissed when it shouldn't be.
This is Lord Judge.
Yeah.
My suggestion yesterday.
Or is it? I don't know. I don't even,
It is a DVD case, Judge.
Mr. Witness.
I don't even see a knowing.
It's not published, Judge.
Judge.
I mean, ready to publish.
Judge, you said he spoke with Chief Campbell, dismissed for missing witness due to.
So it is dismissed then, right? Okay, your case has been dismissed, believe it or not. Just be careful out there, you know? Just, today's your lucky day. Count it, all right? Okay, man, good luck. So Mr. Schreiber's on bond for a harassment case. He's now picked up a new case.
Yes, sir.
You now stand charged with the offense of assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On January 31st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers responded to a family disturbance call. Upon arrival, officer met with the complaining witness, who stated that she and the defendant are married. Complaining witness stated that the defendant had arrived home drunk and that she hid alcohol from him, leading to an argument. The complaining witness stated that the defendant then grabbed her by her hair and pulled, causing pain.
Is this the same complaining witness in the harassment case?
No, Judge, this is going to be the defendant's wife. I've since spoken to her today in the back in the witness room.
Who is the
So
complaining
my
witness in the
understanding is
harassment?
that in the harassment, it's a neighbor, and then we now have the wife as the complainant.
Judge, if I may, then you may remember the old case. It involved a family that lived about 8/10 of a mile away and involved a dirt bike.
I don't remember anything.
And as a practical matter, no, it isn't a neighbor. It's a person who lives in the area. They don't, live next to each other. After this incident happened with the harassment case and his wife is here in court, Mr. Schreiber's now enrolled to go to a facility called Mallard Lake. It's a rehabilitation facility that addresses alcohol problems. He's going to be enrolling on Sunday, and they've sent the enrollment paperwork to my office yesterday. We are hoping that we can reset these cases to allow him to attend that. That is an inpatient program. We don't know how long he will be there, but I would anticipate it's going to be not less than 14 days. But of course, it's one of those things they'll judge his success as he goes.
I am all for it. But you picked up a new case while you're on bond. I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to give you any preferential treatment. You have to abide by all the rules, regulations as well. And when you pick up a new case, there are consequences. You're old enough to know that. When you have actions, you take the wrong action. There are no mistakes in life. There are actions. And when you take the wrong actions, there's serious consequences. I'm now revoking your bond in the harassment case. You're staying with me. Now, hold on. I'm not done with you. I'm also ordering you now not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming.
So I still go to rehab?
We'll talk about it.
We'll work through all the, all the issues as far as there, but I'm not going to take your word for it that you're not going to consume. I need more concrete evidence, and the way that I do that are with these devices, and you're now with me, absolutely no tolerance. If I find that you're now a further danger to my community, I'm going to go nuts on your bond. Do you understand? So what does wife want? Does she want to continue to have contact with him?
She is here to ask that the court modify the conditions of the magistrate order for emergency protection. Since this incident happened, Mr. Schreiber's been living in a hotel. They've abided strictly, even with their communication and transportation today. with the no contact. However, she is asking that we remove that restriction and instead go with the no threatening or harassing communication.
I've spoken with her and confirmed all of council's represented, and we're not going to be unopposed. We're not going to be opposed to modifying it to no threatening or harassing.
So you have an order for protection that's been put in place by the magistrate. I'm leaving everything in that order intact except for one thing. Well, I guess two. Does the MOAP also say no contact as well?
It says no contact and don't go to their.
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to modify two things. The first thing I'm going to do is I will take off the residential restriction. Number two, I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with the complaining witness in this case. You need to understand what is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. I could give a rat's behind what you think. It's what she perceives. So if I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it can land you in custody. And I'm going to tell you now, any more issues,
That's why I'm going to rehab, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
you know, there are people in life when they drink, they're very happy, they're the life of the party.
That way.
Yeah, and then there are people who develop horns when they start drinking. If this is you, there's one easy solution. So what we'll do is I'll put the monitor on him. I'll waive the fee. Okay. I guess
Graham?
correct. No alcohol, no drugs, random testing, no weapons, no threatening or harassing contact with the complaining witness, the scram monitor, waive the fees. Get with me as far as the facility and what they say about him having the device on and if they're okay with it, if they're not okay with it. If they're not, then we can work something out. But the minute he gets out, the next day he's got to get the monitor on if they have a problem with it. And then you must charge this device every single day. If the battery goes dead, so does your bond. Do you understand? All right, so I'll set the new bond at 5,001 on the harassment case, and then we're done. All right, goes with you. Okay, Mr. Downey, so just
We'll get a reset, maybe 45 days out. Should give us enough time.
do that. I need proof though. Like, you could get me proof that he's actually enrolled and how long he's going to be there. On the harassment case, he's going to make bond. They'll give you a 7-day setting on that afterwards. Feel free to get with Victoria so that way you can match up the date after you get the new date, and then
I have the paperwork. How do you want me to get that to the court on the?
if you want to email it to us, it's okay. Email. It's
Okay,
probably the easiest. That way you don't have to come in and waste time.
no problem. Yeah, I will get it to you right now.
And then just one more thing, always just CC Sebastian. That way they always have it as well.
No problem.
Okay. All right, guys.